streets, or it is going to be almost busy day or not busy day on the street. So that is it.
Okay.
So anyway, so just a very simple question. Then you can also share your thoughts with us on our Facebook page as you're stepping out this morning. But that being said, let's talk about building demolition in Abia State, courtesy Abia State government that appealed to property developers in Aba, the state's commercial hub, to seek approval from local government town planning authorities in the area comprising Aba North, Aba South, Ugunagbo, Osisioma, Obingwa, to seek approval before embarking on the construction of any building structure or business facility to avoid loss. The Aba Urban Renewal Program is a program aimed at restoring, according to the government, the master plan of Aba, which has been eroded by illegal structures, street markets, even in residential areas, according to the government. The town planning authorities re-emphasized this after the demolition of a two-story commercial building under construction along Samek Road, area in Osisioma local government, for lack of approval. The executive secretary of Osisioma Ngwa Town Planning Authority, who led the team, Chigozie Ahiwe, explained that the proposed shopping mall was demolished because the developer did not get approval of the authorities, stressing that it was being developed illegally. That's according to the statement by the government.
I think they are just doing their job, and I think that as much as I feel for the owner of the building, because it's actually a loss on his part, but I think it should serve as a deterrent to other people. In Igbo language, there's something we say, in actually my dialect, like when something is done properly, it's beautiful, so I don't think you're supposed to start erecting any building or structure like that without getting the necessary approval that you need. It doesn't make sense, because at the end of the day, something like this could happen. What if he has finished this structure maybe to a certain extent, almost finishing or something like that, before it was discovered, and they come to demolish it, to pull it down? It's going to be a big loss on you. So why don't you avoid that and go through the proper routes to get the approval, the permits, and everything you need? I know sometimes it might be cumbersome. I don't know the process, but maybe it might be cumbersome, and some persons, because I feel that why some people try to avoid that, maybe it's because it's cumbersome, or the process, how long it will take and stuff like that. But no matter how long it takes, it's still necessary that you get that permit and approval. So let's do the right thing. It will help us to become a better society if all of us do the right thing.
I know you're waiting for us to talk about power supply in Aba, because it affects everybody. Both residential areas, commercial hubs in the state, especially Aba, affecting Mary, biting Mary hard. Sometimes she doesn't iron her clothes before coming to work.
Wow, really?
Don't mind me. Just trying to do a funny analysis.
No, please talk about the very fact that I don't have water and I had to go stay with a friend.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Over the weekend.
Go get generator, pump your water. Well, let's talk about this, because it was a big problem. So we decided to do an investigation on what is really going on. It went on for about 6-7 days. For some persons, it's been out for long. Residents of the commercial hub have not had electricity supply for days. For us here, where our station is located, it was for about 7-8 days, which put so much pressure on our alternative power supply. They have to do with diesel. How much diesel is, it's a lot.
Yes.
And so we decide the areas affected: St. Michael's, the adjoining streets, some parts of Abawere Road, the GRA, Asiama axis. Do you know, in all these, Ogbo Hill axis was not affected?
Yes.
They were even having lights back to back.
Yes.
Funny.
They were not.
So we decided to do an investigation, and that investigation took us to the Transmission Company of Nigeria, the TCN switchyard in Izuku in Aba, from where Aba Power supplies electricity to the affected areas. That the place a part of that place got burnt. Then the circuit breaker had issues. The problem the breaker had was a result of the blackout experienced in all those parts of Aba listed that we listed this morning. You know, TCN belongs to the federal government, and it doesn't. TCN is in charge of transmission. When a Genco, you know, it's a chain. It's a value chain. Generation companies generate electricity. They transmit using federal government's facilities. That is Transmission Company of Nigeria, and they give it to the discos. That's the distribution companies. We have 12 discos in Nigeria, including Aba Power, which is the baby. That's the latest disco, and they give it to the discos. The discos now sell to you and I. When they sell, consumers, when they sell, they make their profit. They pay transmission company also gives back to the Gencos now. That is how it works. So the problem was from TCN. So what happened? Why the delay in fixing? That's the big question we asked. The TCN guys that spoke on the condition of anonymity, they said they were not commissioned to speak on that particular issue. Said there are bureaucratic bottlenecks. Enyimba, right? It has to go through the issue of you write a letter, take it back to Abuja, they sign it, and they cannot repair what got burnt. They have to replace. They could buy a new one, and so all this went on. Aba was out. Where I blame Aba Power was the communication. They should have informed you back in the day, 70s and 80s. For those that grew up during this time, they will attest to this. If there's going to be power failure,
you have to announce.
They will announce. Sometimes they will even paste a poster. They all this bill that they paste on the wall. You tell the people that this. We're going to have a power failure. I was expecting that as soon as that fault arose, they should have informed the people. Probably make radio announcement and tell the people, see what we are facing. We are presently working on it. It took days before we even got a hold of what was happening, and it's affecting businesses. You know, when there is no power, especially in Aba, you know, the effect on the people, especially the commercial hub of the town. Anyways, they said they fixed it. Some places are yet to get it. Affected about 10 feeders. The Aba Township feeder was affected. Some feeders have been restored, but some feeders are yet to get power at this moment. For example, your feeder, the feeder that serves us right here in Enyimba FM, and some other feeders in town. But some feeders got power. Light was restored in my house yesterday after days of not having power supply.
Okay. All right. I have two things to say about that, because I remember that last week, Friday, when we were doing the power talks, I actually mentioned what you mentioned. Communication is key. You are serving the public. We are getting electricity from you, and we are paying for the services. At the end of the month, you bring us bill and we pay for it. So if there is anything that went wrong in the course of your carrying out your duty, you are supposed to inform your customers. It is pertinent that you don't keep them in the dark and also in the dark. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very pertinent that you make an announcement. If you we didn't go for the investigation to actually find out what had happened, you and I wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known. And the information we are giving out to our listener now, they wouldn't have also known about it. So communication is key when it comes to business. That's the business you are doing. You don't keep your customers in the dark. You have to carry them along and let them know what is happening. That's the first thing I want to talk about. Now, second thing, for someone like me, that I had to go stay with a friend because of lack of water. There was no water, so we couldn't pump water. There was no light, sorry, we couldn't pump water.
We pump ours, we generate in my compound.
Yes, I know. Kudos to you and your compound people. But I had to go stay with a friend. Now, my question is, for all these days or weeks, I didn't have electricity. When you bring my bill, are you going to give me a discount? Are you going to subtract the days?
I think bill is calculated based on the number of hours that you were supplied.
However it is calculated, that's what I'm saying. Because I know that at the end of the month, this is estimated billing. They are still going to bring the normal thing they bring. They will not think of the very fact that, oh, for 2 weeks so people didn't have light, let's know how to work on this bill. Nothing like that is going to happen. They're still going to bring the normal bill they usually bring to us. So these two things, they also need to look into it. I didn't have light for 2 weeks. If they restore light, let's say, what's today's date? Today is 16, right? Let's say roughly 2 weeks I'm going to have light for 2 weeks. What happens to the other 2 weeks I didn't have light? Do I have to pay for it? That's the question. So I think they also need to look into that. Don't bring me a bill for something I did not use. That's where I'm going to have problem with APL. Yes, you people had issues, but I'm also going to have issues if at the end of October I get a bill that doesn't commiserate with the power supply I got. For me, leaving my house to go and stay with a friend, they also need to look into that.
This leaving your house, they pay you. They paying you well.
It's not like he's paying me. I had fun. I enjoyed. I had an amazing weekend. But I'm saying, for me to scramble for water, you need to see us going around looking for water. It wasn't nice.
Sorry.
Why are you saying me? Why are you telling me sorry? Like you work for APL?
I don't. Goodness. All right, let's move on now. Comments are pouring in already on our Facebook page. Comrade Elijah Udenwa is talking about his experience this morning, stepping out, saying, my experience this morning is not worthy to talk about. Can you imagine, after receiving information from the school WhatsApp that there will be school, only for me to prepare my kids? Even the keke operator that we flagged down told us that if we insist that we will still come, we entered, and just few polls, I decided to call the head teacher who told us to stay, and the keke still collected 100 naira. For now, I day inside town. I'm yet to see any private car, even the keke are few, but there is calm. Yeah, there is calm.
That's the major thing.
Yeah, Umocha, my area here, nothing is going on. I can even have a nap in the middle of the road with 100% assured safety. All right. This one
no vehicular movement.
Mike, I don't know that you look this young. I was aging to see a very old man based on your voice, and you guys look beautiful this morning. Danny Banks there. All right, keep those comments pouring in. Tell us about the security situation, and of course the traffic situation, the movement of the people in your area. Even as we continue the show this morning, talk about railway. The Eastern District Manager, Nigeria Railway Corporation, Modibo Mohammed, says laying of the new railway line from Port Harcourt to Umuahia will be completed first quarter of next year. First quarter means between January, February and March. All right. And he said the first phase, which covers 63 kilometers to Aba, will be completed by the end of this year, while the second, which is from Aba to Umuahia, will be delivered in the first quarter of next year. He made that known when he paid a visit to the governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Otti, and he said when the corporation services are restored in the district, it will create job opportunities, yes, for the youths, alternative means of transportation for the people. But he said something that caught my attention and which we need to pay attention to. He said that he solicited the support of the state government in protecting the rail tracks delivered in some locations in the state and provision of logistics to assist them in security. That is it about that. We've had cases of public infrastructures being vandalized, especially in the southeastern part of the country. We need to protect these things. We don't have enormous infrastructures as we want to have compared to other geopolitical zones.
Yes.
The little we have, can we just protect them as we clamor for more? Do you know that the second Niger bridge is a second or third Niger bridge that was commissioned? Okay, second Niger bridge that was commissioned are being vandalized as we speak. The contraption and some steel on that bridge have been vandalized. This is people sabotaging us, and it is unfair. It's unexplainable. I don't know how to explain it. We've had cases of rail tracks being stolen. you make a lot of money. Those
things are ions.
They are ions. Yes, you make a lot of money.
Yes.
And there is need to put security on this. We don't have enough of these things. And the little we have, some people are vandalizing it. I don't know how to explain it. Why? And
I also want to state here that sometimes when we talk about vandalism, people try to, speak for the people who carry these vandals, the people who actually perpetrate this. They make it look like it's because
which one?
Like when we talk about vandalism,
yes.
Because I remember one time on a Saturday I was talking about this vandalism in Aba, and some persons were like, it's because of lack of job. Do you understand that the men that they
justifying it?
Yes, justifying it, that the young men who do this, that they do it because they don't have job. And I think it's not nice for you to justify such an act. If you say people don't have, if we are going to hinge on I don't have a job, that means I can actually go out of my way to perpetrate evil and hinge it on the very fact that I don't have a job. The reason you are saying is because because it's government property. That's why it seems okay to you. If they were to come to your house to carry your properties and go, you will not say they don't have a job. You call them robbers. You give a name to them. The reason you are trying to protect them is because it's government properties that they are vandalizing. So I think all hands must be on deck when it comes to this. If you see someone doing the wrong thing, don't close your mouth. Like I would always say, my pastor say, evil thrive when good men keep quiet, when good men don't do anything. When you see someone doing something wrong, don't protect them and say it's because they lack job. There are lots of things to be done in people push barrows, people push trucks. People do a whole lot of things to make money. They decided to toe that part because they know the other one is wrong. So if all of us begin to have that mindset that this is wrong, whether you have a job or not, don't do it. Don't vandalize government property. It means that when you see someone doing that, you can speak up. Imagine you find someone doing that, about 2 or 3 of you stop the person and say don't do that. But you see one person trying to stop the person, you see another person say, hey, what do you want him to do? Okay, he's not stealing because it's government property. So we also need to come up to that point as a people that when we see someone doing wrong, everybody should speak up. We shouldn't just leave it for the government alone. All hands must be on deck.
It is Issues and Views right here on Enyimba 94.3 FM. We're streaming live on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Enyimba 943 FM. Comments are pouring in. We also have a YouTube page that we're streaming on at the moment, youtube.com/Enyimba TV. All right. Denmark King says, in my area, Old Express, we are experiencing a total lockdown. Unlike previous Mondays, lockdown is the elderly brother of sit at home. Denmark from Mariara. Chinonso Azubike says, we don't have light in Port Harcourt Road. Keep those comments pouring in on our Facebook page. We are going to run through those comments of yours when we throw the lines open this morning on the program. All right. WhatsApp, I'm not sure the WhatsApp is up and running this morning. Let's see. But don't forget that you can listen anywhere in the world. Okay, the WhatsApp is not working this morning, but that will be worked on. Many thanks to the ICT guys. Our streaming is back, right? Okay. Don't forget you can listen anywhere in the world on www.enyimbafm.com, or better still, you download the Enyimba radio app on the Google Play Store. All right, let's move on now. So much around collection of revenue in Abia, but we will get to that this morning. Before we get to that, we'll take a break. When we return, we'll continue the conversation. Stay tuned.
Enyimba FM 94.3 Aba.
Yeah, man.
Yo, man, hold on, man. Y'all got to turn them radios up. Y'all got to turn them up. Turn them radios up.
Enyimba FM 94.3. Enyimba FM.
You're tuned in to Enyimba 94.3 FM.
All the holy people are wonderful. The synergy, the energy, the compassion, the unity.
You're more than the radio station. When news.
The proposed settlement of 725 with the
authorized oil connection.
The Central Bank of Nigeria says the old 200
sports.
Halftime. And the Super Falcons have equalized. I know what they equalized.
The better team. And if you look at the goal the Falcons actually scored.
And current affairs come together to to keep you informed and engaged. Yamaha Radio Station.
This is where news comes first.
And sports bring excitement.
We are your destination for staying informed and entertained. We are your news and sports hub.
Enyimba 94.3 FM. Abba.
More than a radio.
From headlines.
The headlines. Shell to pay 15
First, the headlines. Military personnel killed in the headlines.
To touchdowns.
It took David Moyes 1,000
The Nigerian national league.
before he could actually win a medal trophy.
We'll hold a 2-day open screen.
You're listening to Enyimba FM.
Delivering the news,
Sports updates.
and insightful commentary you need.
The government to continue the constant engagement.
Nobody can succeed in demarcating a state depends on what you are saying.
It's the people who are resilient, determined, no matter the situation, to make things work for themselves.
Enyimba.
94.3 FM.
Abba. More than a radio.
This is where news comes first.
And sports bring excitement.
We are your destination for staying informed and entertained. We are your news and sports hub.
Enyimba 94.3 FM. Abba.
More than a radio.
And now, issues and views.
Well, thank you so much for staying tuned. Issues and Views Monday edition right here on Enyimba 94.3 FM. But we're streaming live on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Enyimba 943 FM. Also join the conversation by dropping your comments on the Facebook page. We've got 2 threads there for you on the Facebook page. Okay, we have the topics listed on one of the threads, and we're also streaming on the second thread. Okay, and as you're doing that, we are also going to throw the lines open later on this morning, even as we're asking the question, what is the situation in your area? Are people moving? There keke, do we have tricycle movement, vehicular movement? You know, Abba is known for when you see many tricycles on the road, you know the city is open for business.
No, not really. Not really. Okay. It's when you see buses.
You know, it's tricycle. We have more tricycles now.
No, why I'm saying that is, you know, before now, even before what is happening today, normally on Mondays, you would actually see tricycles, but you hardly see buses. You understand? It's like the tricycle operators, they have mind more than the bus drivers. It's like, I don't know, they get mine past or the other people.
Then get my pass.
So no matter what, they always find a way to come out.
Man must chop.
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on now. We understand that the sanitary inspection system, previously known in the colonial days in Igbo land as Undioleala, right? Did I get that correct? Am I correct? Is to be reintroduced. Is to be reintroduced in all the local government areas. The sanitary inspection system.
Ndioleala. Who go about to check out how
in Yoruba land we call them wole wole. They wear this white uniform and they have the right to enter your house. Back in the day, 70s, 60s, do you know they even go as far as checking your plate, your pot of soup.
Why?
Yes, they'll go and check your pot of soup. If you have dirty plates, if you have dirty plates in your house and the likes, they go into yard. That's what they call it. They enter yards to be sure that your yard is not dirty.
I know they also go to the lavatories, to check out.
Yes. So I understand they are to be reintroduced in all the local government areas of Abia State to inspect the environmental conditions of urban and rural areas, according to the State Commissioner for Environment, Philemon Asonye Obonna, who stated this in Umuahia when he had a meeting with the environmental health officials and top government officials. And it is to provide quality health, according to him, for Abia residents, and also that the initiative would help in preventing the outbreak of diseases. So that's it about that.
That's a good one.
Cleaning up your environment. You shouldn't be forced to do it.
And okay, what happens when they come to an environment and it's not clean enough?
There will be punitive measures now.
Okay,
there will definitely be punitive measures.
I think it's just more like, is it NAFDAC now that goes to some restaurants to check out the environment that they cook and prepare?
There are also the health officials. NAFDAC is about food and drug. NAFDAC deals with food companies, drug companies, anything that enters your mouth. Yeah. That's what NAFDAC. So that is why we have NAFDAC number. You have to be certified, and they do constant and periodic checks in some of these facilities that produce those.
So this is really not. It's not a bad idea. I think we need it in Aba. We really need it. Maybe by the time we start doing that, people will actually not, learn how not to dump refuse at undesignated places, and learn how to keep their environments clean. Learn how not to. You see, in some parts of Aba, somebody will finish doing whatever with dirty water, and they will come out of the road, come to the road.
Throw it.
Exactly. Let's see if that can actually help us in curbing some of those things.
Have you noticed that we have a new species of mosquitoes in Aba? I don't know if.
How do you know?
I don't know if I pay attention to details. I'm very meticulous.
The mosquito is not really paying attention to. You just live in an environment that has plenty of mosquitoes. But go ahead, elucidate. Tell us more.
If you want to insult me, start with Michael. Your head no correct. Not for you to indirectly insult me.
No, I'm not.
For the good people of the area that I stay.
You're trying to make it look like you're observer. No, you're not. You just live in a mosquito-ridden area. But
I apologize on behalf of the good people of the place that I stay in Aba. Don't mind him. Well, don't mind her.
Okay, so what kind of mosquitoes are we talking about?
I know the mosquito that causes malaria is Anopheles. That's the female mosquito.
Yes.
The one that causes yellow fever is the Culex. That is why you have to roll with
the
science
one that
student. Hold on first now.
The one that you saw in your environment, what is it called? The new one that you just observed.
It is still Anopheles, but what I noticed is that they are now
bigger.
Smaller, and they don't make any noise. That is what I noticed.
Okay, so they can be sucking you without you feeling
won't know. The bigger ones, they make noise, they disturb you, you start clapping, trying to distract them, get them away from your skin and the likes. But the ones that are flying, that are
like new species,
it's not really new. I think it's mutation or something that are plying their trade in the streets of Aba right now.
In your area, especially. Those
ones are very intelligent.
They're even intelligent.
Never see anything.
All right.
They will suck you without notice.
But I think it's advisable for, if you live in such an environment, to get yourself a mosquito net to also help you.
Yes, indeed. Get yourself a mosquito net, and also clean your environment.
Yes, your gutters.
Open up your drainages. Know that when it is raining, small rain like this, you pack every of the dirt in your house. You throw it inside the dirt, and it blocks it. At the end of the day, you have stagnant water, which breeds the mosquito.
True.
At the end of the day, someone will end up in the hospital because of dirty environment. We shouldn't wait for the government to do this for us. Anyways, let's move on now. Talk about just one more story before we throw the lines open because of our time. Just to mention this, bearing any last minute change, we understand that there will be the second Federal Executive Council meeting of this administration today. Don't forget, the last one was conducted 48 days ago, which we did the analysis last week on the program. There is no law backing or saying it should be weekly, but the law says that it should be regular. No law that says it should be weekly, but based on the policies that will be and decisions taken. Many feel that it should be weekly, and the first one was done immediately. Not immediately. The first one was done. Some ministers were confirmed, were sworn in. We have some ministers that have been confirmed by the Senate, but they've not been sworn in. I believe that will happen today, and some other decisions. We understand that the first one was held on the 28th of August, as about a month after
the swearing in of the president.
It's not a month. He was sworn in May, June, July, August. About 3 months.
Yes, true.
Then now we are having another one. So, anyways, we are awaiting what will be the final decision.
Can that really be tagged as regular?
I don't know. It depends on
the meaning of the word
definition
regular.
of regular.
It's not my definition. I'm not the owner of regular. Let's find the definition of regular.
Your definition of regular might be different from my definition of regular, which may be different from the federal government.
Regular now has different
which may be different from federal government.
I didn't know.
Did you listen to his media aid, the way it was pinned? That there is no law saying the president should have a weekly executive council meeting, and some other reasons given. So that's it about that though. Let's move on now. We understand that INEC is promising that Kogi, Imo and Bayelsa elections will be uploaded through iRave. All right, just don't want to talk about this. It's okay. It's fine.
Yes. Let's move on.
Okay, we're moving on. It's fine. Okay. Finally, Labour Party faction is asking Peter Obi to identify himself and alleges certificate discrepancies.
That's Lamido.
Just like Lamidi Apapa's faction. Just the way Peter Obi said Tinubu should reintroduce himself to Nigerians. The National Publicity Secretary of Lamidi Apapa-led faction of Labour Party, Abayomi Arabambi, alleged that there is a discrepancy in the credentials submitted by the party to its presidential candidate, in the 25th February election. Mr. Arabambi made the allegation in a live television interview that we monitored. He claimed to be among those that screened Mr. Peter Obi before the party's presidential primary, and he said the name written on Mr. Peter Obi's academic certificate from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, was different from the name in his NYSC certificate that he bears. And he said he was part of the people who did the screening for him in the form EC9 that he was given, that he wrote that he attended University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and he wrote that he finished his youth service, but unfortunately in the final submission of the form, he only submitted his school certificate
without the
NYSC. And he said something is fishy, and because the name Mr. Obi's school sent for mobilization was not what was written on his NYSC certificate. In fact, they went ahead to even do a press conference and said Obi's identity is shrouded in mystery. So that's it about that. Interesting. This issue of certificate back and forth that we have in this country, I don't understand.
It's really amazing, because you don't even need all that qualification to actually become the president. They have actually made it simple. All you need is just
he submitted his it was a school certificate that he used, SSC certificate that he used during his final submission.
They're talking about the NYSC.
Yes, I'm talking about his ambition to become the president of Nigeria now. He didn't submit the certificate from Nsukka. He submitted the SSCE.
Okay. But
the issue of his certificate now is now being raised by Lamidi Apapa faction of the Labour Party.
Because of what he came out to say. I think they are just it's because of what.
Well, in all this, Lamidi is making some Nigerians feel like he's being sponsored.
Yes,
like he's being sponsored, because this is looking like a defense to the other party.
And a house cannot be divided against itself. Even Jesus said that in the Bible. A house that is divided against itself cannot stand. You call yourself a Labour Party member, and that's your party's presidential candidate in February 25 election. and coming out to say something like that about him, it sounds somehow to me. Even if something like that happened, I'm not trying to say cover up, but it should be a family affair. It should not be something you come out and.
It's not anything that involves Lamidi Papa is no longer
that's
family
what I'm
affair.
saying. Exactly. That's the point, because it's a house divided against itself.
I like us to look at the lessons here. If you have discrepancies in your names, for example, my name is Michael Oni, then there is Omololu. Some may write it Michael Omololu Oni, some may write it Oni Michael Omololu. The best you can do, if you have inconsistencies like these, yes, you can harmonize it through a deed of proof and the federal government's gazette. It will save you all these issues that you may have in the nearest future. There is something they call deed of proof. The lawyers will know it, and federal government's gazette. Do it to save you all this, to save you all this controversy that may be waiting for you in the nearest future. And somebody will hold you and say, hey, you know what, you are not the same person that has this certificate. So that is my lesson in all these. That is a lesson I'm learning in all these issue of certificate saga back and forth. It is not the first time that we have
this kind of
ruling class having this issue of certificate, and it speaks a lot about the morality in Nigeria. Just over the weekend, Nigeria was rated number 2 in the world and most prayerful. Yes, number 2 in the world of the countries that are most prayerful.
Which country is number 1?
Afghanistan. Shocking. It's not funny. Let's throw lights open, please. It's not funny.
Afghanistan is number 1.
For real.
Wow.
For real. Most prayerful country in Nigeria. And I'm asking. I'm not disputing that prayer is bad. Don't forget, it was not said that the prayer belongs to only a section of a religion.
No.
Okay. It cuts across all religion. But we are the second most prayerful country in the world. 0809 666 0943 or 0708 0000918. Also drop your messages for us on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Enyimba 943 FM. Good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
My name is Andrea Junior. I'm calling from Otu.
All right. Honora Junior, if you can call back, we will appreciate. I think you should change your location so that we can have smooth conversation with you. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Nigeria, and good morning, audience. My name is Mr. Cool Boy, calling from Chicago.
All right, Cool Boy.
First of all, the house demolished. It's obvious at this point in time we are seeing such. It's just like what happened during the weekend at Cross Road here. You should just see that I don't know if I'm to say that sometimes our commissioners or engineers don't get approval before they start building. It is a very high time that we need all our town planners to do their job very well. Because after building and see that they will be demolished, like just what happened here weekend. Some people have acquired those shops. Some people have come out to rent those shops. Some people have come out to buy those shops from government. Some of them have made payments.
Cool Boy. Oh goodness, it's off.
I would have loved to know if there will be a refund.
If you can call back to finalize your thoughts this morning, we will appreciate. Hello, good morning to you. Hello. Okay, 0809 666 0943 or 0708 0000918. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Michael.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, put you on the line.
All right, go ahead, please.
Yeah. On the health issue about the Wolala, I have to congratulate my Nikribada, the governor of Abia State. It's a good development, and we should not waste time to inaugurate the people that will take charge of that. Because as you said, I noticed that mosquito you described. There's no kind of net that will stop the mosquito coming into your house because of
you also noticed the same. You also noticed the same mosquito in your area, right?
Yeah, not just my area. I said in my own house, in my own apartment.
I said it.
There's no kind of net that can stop that tiny mosquito not to enter into your apartment because of its size. On the issue of certificate saga, it's funny because all these men that are being mentioned, they seem like the eyes of Nigerians politically and across the world. So people should stop playing games with such things because it's a shameful thing to Nigeria on its certificate saga. Anytime, any day. It does not speak the good volume of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Michael.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
And Mary May, good morning.
Good morning to you.
This is Mr. Pampaya. This morning I'm calling from Imogwe.
All right, go ahead, please.
I want to talk about this OP certificate discrepancy. And the information is coming from Lanidia Papa. I think Lanidia Papa should be disregarded. Nobody should regard him. The only substantive Labour chairman I know today is Pastor Julius Sature. You know, this Papa, allegedly the federal government is using him.
But where did you get the allegation from?
I thought about the allegation because according to the court of judgment, Julius Sature was upheld as the
Yes, you are correct. I know. Julius Abure is known to INEC, but you said allegedly being sponsored by federal government, and I'm asking, where did you get the allegation from?
From his utterances
you can't
that's
use
assumption.
That's assumption now. You can't use his utterances.
It's not an assumption, Mr.
It's an assumption. If you say you are alleging that something, you need evidence to back it.
I put alleged. Now, if you say that you are a chairman of the party, are you with me?
We are with you.
If you say that you are a chairman of the party, how would you come out and tell the world, be telling the world that your own candidate, that the certificate is submitted is not correct, or there is a discrepancy? He is not in the position to say that. It's your position that will say that. That clearly takes you where Lanidia Papa is not.
All right.
That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. We do appreciate. Hello, good morning to you. 0708 000 0918 or 0809 666 0943. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Michael. Good
yes,
morning.
sir. You're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Caleb.
All right, go ahead, please.
I want to talk about the issue of INEC. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, who is assuring us that the election which will take place on the next month will be transmitted electronically. So the problem is not him coming out to tell us that it will be transmitted electronically. We can no longer trust INEC and their promises. Now, Mahmoud Yakubu himself is promising us. Where is supposed to go? You could see us, the voters, and how the vote will be managed and how the results will be out. So we want to see him. Let him come out and address the Nigerians again. Let him come out and convince us how to believe them that they are telling the truth this time around. So we can no longer have confidence in them. So that's my contribution this morning.
All right, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. He doesn't have trust in the electoral umpire. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
It's morning. Are you calling from Nigeria or you're calling outside? You're welcome.
Good morning, Mike. Lee?
Yes, sir. You're welcome. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
I love you. Those are for you.
Thank you.
Your disposition towards this mosquito of really
all right.
You are first Michael.
Yes, sir.
And that is it's a general phenomenon, though. Michael, I'm on your side.
Okay, thank you. Those mosquitoes don't give warning before. Very intelligent thing. Seriously.
That small mosquito is very, very intelligent. It feels like it doesn't like feeling anything illumination, though.
Yes, indeed.
It has to get it around, get it away from you.
Yeah.
Just make sure you dim that light. Don't expose your body.
You can't even track it to say you want to kill it. They are very fast.
Very, very, very intelligent.
Yes, indeed.
You know what? Like the other girl said, there is no amount of you know that the people that is the ruling class, they left the important issues of life and they are taking things that wrong with it. You know they are taking delivery of SUs, each of them worth 100 million naira.
For the House of